Good morning and welcome to Unity Church. I'm Paul Framett, treasurer on the Board of Trustees, and we'll start out with announcements. First, this Tuesday at 5:30 is our Christmas Eve service, and the next Tuesday at 5:30, New Year's Eve, is our Burning Bowl service. Now, we have a choir, just that great choir that you just heard is going to be here for the Burning Bowl service. The reason why they're here, it's hard to get a seat. And so they're going to be a choir, so we have to give them a seat. So, today is the day to bring in the adopted family presents, and it looks like somebody's ahead of me on the announcements. I think pretty much everybody's done it, so today's the last day. Reverend John Frederick is returning for a few months, or maybe longer, I don't know. But anyway, starting January 6th, he is going to present, that's a Monday, he's going to present a class that he has created called Prosperity. And he created this in Paris, and he needs 12 people to start the class. And there's a sign-up sheet in the lobby, and so far there's 9. So if you want to be a part of John Frederick's class, go ahead and sign up. Let's see. This sheet is also in the lobby. It's the first Sunday in March, we are having elections for the Board of Trustees, and there's openings for 3 people to rotate onto the Board of Trustees. So if you're interested, there's a sheet to fill out if you want to nominate yourself to be run for being on the board. And you can also contact Patricia Perry, Lamont Snyder. Lamont is the big, tall. Oh, Glein, I'm sorry. Cancel that. Glein, but he's also tall. Glein and Patricia Perry and Reverend Crystal are the, and Dave Farrell are the nominating committee, so you can contact them with any questions or any information that you want to share. Today at 6, Joy Adler. There was a picture of Joy up on the screen ahead of me. A great one-song service, a lot of music, Joy Adler, and the Winter Solstice program. Now this one is Lamont Snyder. This Sunday, Christmas Day, starting at noon, we have a Christmas potluck dinner. And so, again, a sign-up sheet out in the lobby. Bring up this to share and come and enjoy Christmas with some of your Unity friends. Into the new year, this is a couple weeks ahead, January 4th, Stephanie, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but it's Stephanie that's always here at the 11 o'clock service and is very active. She's having a vegan dinner. Again, sign-up sheets out in the lobby. It starts around, let's see. Anyway, it's around supper time, around 5 or 6 o'clock. Information's out in the lobby. It's a vegan dinner. So, and they're going to, okay, it's vegan then, but it's the same thing. They're going to talk about the advantages to joining the vegan movement. Yeah, let's see. And the 12th, again, we're getting, hi Kathleen, we're getting into a couple weeks ahead, but Nathan Mahmood, is that right, Roger? Nathan's last name? Nahmad. Daniel Nahmad, okay. Is here for this morning service and probably the evening service too?
So yeah, Daniel Nahmad will be with us for the morning services, and he'll do an afternoon concert at 1 o'clock that day. Yep.
Okay.
Not to be missed.
And I think that's enough announcements. Oh, one more thing. Bob Sinecor, Bob's here somewhere. Meditation at 10:15 in between the services. So I have a short prayer for today. If I can read this small print. Think of the flowers growing in the fields. They never have to work or toil. Yet I assure you that not even Solomon, in all his splendor, is regaled as well as these flowers are. So in this time of Advent, two of the themes in Advent were faith and peace. And so if we can have the faith that Advent is promoting for us, and the faith that Spirit will take care of us, we'll find that peace. Just like the flowers in the fields found that peace by trusting in Spirit, so will we find that peace if we can trust that Spirit will show us the way to stop worrying and have all our problems fall by the wayside. And so now we have the daily word. We got to do our mission statement. Please join with me. The mission of Unity Church in Albany is to awaken to and embrace the divine essence of all beings through prayer and service. In our vision statement, we celebrate oneness with Spirit and with the divine nature of all. And now our daily word. Again, it's joy. My greatest joy is discovering the presence of God within me. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore wrote that joy is the happiness of God expressed through his perfect idea, humankind. Witnessing the unbridled joy of children on Christmas morning brings a smile to my face and gives me a warm feeling. Although my childhood may be a distant memory, joy remains an active part of my life. I find joy in the beauty of holiday decorations, in the fellowship of family and friends, and in giving and receiving gifts. I discover my greatest joy is knowing and feeling the presence of God within me. I recognize and rejoice in God's presence in me and see it in everyone I meet. I know that joy is always present and can be called into expression at every moment. And from the Bible, the fruit of Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, and faithfulness. Thank you.
Please stand.
I am filled with the light of 1,000 angels, softening my way, softening my way. I am filled with the light of 1,000 angels, softening my way to thee. I am filled with the infinite love of Spirit, softening my way, softening my way. I am filled with the infinite love of Spirit, softening my way to thee. Joy is in my heart, joy is in my heart, joy is in my heart. Joy is in my heart, joy is in my heart, joy is in my heart. There's a star in the east on a Christmas morn, softening my way, softening my way, and it leads to the place where the Christ
right, welcome. I'm Reverend Crystal Muldrow. You're at Unity Church in Albany, where we love to affirm that this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. This really, truly is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So glad that you are here. Do we have anyone here for the very first time? Please allow us to welcome you with gift, and let us know who you are by raising your hand. Well, as we like to say, we know that we are all here anew every single day that we come, so welcome. Let us say our statement of oneness together. The power of Christ's love now releases me from any sense of separation from spirit or others. There is only one presence and one power in my life and in the universe. That one is God, the good, omnipotent. And so it is. Amen. So, sorry, I was only partially listening. Did we say anything about our prayer chaplains? Who are our chaplains for today? So, Reverend Ginger and Dave, thank you very much. Dave and Ginger will be in the back if you require prayer for celebration of good news or in need of upliftment for seemingly peril news. And, you know, this time of Christmas, we think that everyone is in joy, and not everyone is. And so let us just wrap each other in love during this time. And if you need prayers, they are there. Also, if you need prayers and you don't have time to go to the chaplains, we are a we are a praying church. And so in front of you in the pew holders are prayer request forms. Go ahead and grab one. If you need to fill it out, you can drop it off the wooden box on the wooden table called the answer box. Or on the back of your bulletin, you will find ways that you can snail mail us, call your prayer request in, or email your request in to us. We'd be honored to pray prayers with you, however that is. And so speaking of prayers, this is the time where we start moving into our service, and we start our service off in meditation. And so I ask you to relax, let go, and allow God to move in and through you. And we start it off in a prayerful song. So allow yourself to stay in that peace. Know that you are in a safe place. So if your eyes are not closed, welcome to just close your eyes. And let us just take this moment to breathe. Let's actually, as a community, take 3 deep breaths. Remembering that when you breathe in through your nose, allowing the life of God, the life to move in and through you. Feel the life moving through your lungs, your bronchioles, your diaphragm. And then when you breathe out, feel the warmth, delight in the warmth of you, giving life back out through your mouth. And so, and as you release, also release any tensions or anxieties. So let us do that right now. Let us take a deep collective breath in, and then let us hold it. And then through your mouth, release. Taking a pause. Another breath in through your nose, a little bit of deeper breath. And we're going to hold it a little longer. And through your mouth. Last one, even deeper. Through your nose, yes. And we're going to hold it a little bit longer. Even as you're holding it, feel your body tense up, your shoulders go up. And release. Shoulders down. Oh, and go back to the natural rhythms of your breathing. And delight. Delight in your breath. Allow life moving in and through you to bring you joy. As you breathe in, visualize the breath as joy from the crown of your head. With each breath that you inhale, allow joy to fill your body even more, moving down from your shoulders, your arms. And as you exhale, continue to exhale any tensions or anxieties so that the void is filled with joy, a joy that surpasses all understanding. And if you'd like, you can visualize the breath coming in as a sparkly, iridescent energy that you breathe in, and the more it fills your body, the more your body inwardly glows. In the silence, just release and let go that anything that is not joy in your body, and replace it with joy in this moment. And so coming back to the present moment, feeling joy throughout your entire being, move your vision to your feet, feeling the joy and delighting in your capabilities to move your feet, your toes at whatever extent they can be moved. And feel that energy move up your legs, up your torso, checking in on all the places in your body that are now filled with joy, moving through your shoulders, your arms, moving your head from side to side. And let us just take a couple more deep breaths as a bookend to this meditation, breathing in deeply, delighting in the joy that's coming in, and then release the joy back out to the world. Again, breathing in deeply and holding it and filling the world with your joy outwardly. And when you are ready, open your eyes. And when you're ready, join us in song. grace, let there be joy. And so today is our last Sunday of Advent. I like to tease Roger because he is in such agony as a sweet, gentle Christian Catholic man. He talks about how unity has messed up Advent. So I like to give it back to him. I think Mary back there also, angelic as she is, also agrees. But today, in unity, we've moved it around a little bit. And we're celebrating joy. And so I thought I'd start this off. I found this. It's not quite a story, but it is. Kind of a hybrid of a story and some statistics. To start us off, how many of us have finished their Christmas shopping and all the Christmas stuff that you need to do? How many of us are stressing out because we still have a lot to do and Christmas is on Wednesday? Well, this is for all of us who still have stuff to do before Wednesday. So Thomas Holmes was the first to develop a stress scale. And he developed a scale which helped us measure the stress of your life in any given time. And so the equation is, well, not the equation, but the point system is, for example, job loss would be 35 points. Now, I don't get this. I mean, no wonder there's some bridezillas here, but the scale is getting married is 50 points of stress. I mean, over a loss of job or even over moving to a new city, which is also 35 points, getting married is 50 points. Yeah, there you go. Someone says, that's why I'm single. Yes. Holmes surmised that just living through a typical Christmas season produced 14 stress points. How many of us are like, yep, got it? Yep. And more than that. And then after adding up all the points of the scale, if you were over 200 points, you are in danger of having a mental breakdown. How many of us are like, yep, there? Well, Bridget Kahns took Holmes's scale and applied it to the Virgin Mary for the first Christmas. I know, it's interesting. So she calculated that any pregnancy is worth 400 points. And then said the unplanned pregnancy, add 20 points to that. 20. So yeah, you get 60 points for a pregnancy unplanned. And so how about, how many stress points do you get for having to tell your parents about this unplanned pregnancy? That's not even calculated. That's just like, that's off the chart, yes. And so Mary moved in with Elizabeth for 3 months, the Bible says. So Bridget gave that 25 points on the Holmes scale. And then Mary and Joseph, of course, we already found out that that's 50 points for marriage, right? And so I love this. She goes, can you imagine going into the strange new town and not having any place to stay? Can you imagine the argument between she and Joseph over him not doing the reservation? Yep. She got 35 points for that massive argument they probably had. And then giving birth gives it another 29 points. So Kahn also adds points for changes in sleep from the baby and eating habits at 31 points on the Holmes scale. And then there were all these guests who came up unexpected. I mean, you have angels, you have shepherds, you have king. Really? I mean, you can't find a place. You gave birth in a stable, and now all these unexpected guests come up. What can you imagine the stress points of that? So again, Holmes at 200 points, you're almost hitting the breaking up apart. Bridget said that the status of Mary was 424 points of stress. I can imagine. So as we go forward in this time, it doesn't necessarily say, remember poor Mary and her stress points and all that. It is just kind of a humorous way of thinking about how joy is really the only thing that delights. We move forward in Christmas and we go through all these stresses just for the one day of joy. And so the joy Advent, the joy component of Advent, is actually bringing joy into your life at all times. And that ingredient of joy is healing. Actually, Charles Fillmore says all healing systems recognize joy as a benefit factor in the restoration of health and sickness. And so this last component of Advent is the good news that joy brings. We can experience joy by living in peace, living in love, and living in faith, which is the other components of the Advent season that we've lived in. And we live in this joy and the recognition that God's greatness is truly there for us, no matter what it is, and that we do live in an abundant universe. Part of the Christmas story, metaphysically, is that we live in an abundant universe, and that is part of the representative of the human Jesus being born and elevating and evolving up to the truth of what we all are, spirit, divine spirit. Jesus actually is the representative of the human, the God's idea of the perfect human. And as we, go into Easter, it's really quite interesting to see how a divine human acts. Very human. That's one of the reasons why I love the story of Jesus. When I grew up, and not really being unchurched, I always got this vision of Jesus as walking on air, being very whole, never sinned, never angered, until you read the Bible. And you see Jesus was very human. He's the perfect model and outpicturing for all of us. Because it is through his story that we can see how we can also evolve into the truth of who we're born to be, the beloved children of God. And so we cultivate joy by appreciating the gifts that grace us each and every day, the awe-inspiring gifts that God brings outside of us, and most importantly, within us. Because as I've been saying about Advent, Advent is an adventure. Advent, the word itself, is a coming into being or being used. And so we are all coming into being in glorious ways. Coming into being the divine idea of humans in God's eyes, and then evolving as we're in these robes of skin, robes of clothes, into the truth of who we are. Because the time is ripe for the advent of a new race, the advent of a spiritualized man. And this will be brought about, as I've been saying for the last 3 weeks, not by a miracle of a fiat of God, but by the gradual refinement of man, of the flesh, into man of spirit. Again, that's Charles Fillmore. Keep it Drew Lent. So, the most poignant thing that I keep saying that really, hopefully, you have it in your mind's eyes is metaphysically, the Christ represents God's divine ideas. And to be able to manifest God's divine idea, and let me give you a spoiler alert, we are all God's divine ideas. No matter what issues we've gone through, no matter what mistakes we have made, we are all the divine idea of God. And that is good news, because no matter what aspects of things that we have done, we can be joy-filled that the God that we were taught isn't the actuality. That there's a God of love and a God who only wants to bring us joy, no matter what is happening out here. Once we hold on to the ingredients of faith, joy, love. Thank you. We can be at peace. We are all pregnant and giving birth to mutual divine ideas so that we can give and manifest a joyful world. And I know it's hard to believe in the climate that we are in. And it's surprising to me, for me to continually to say each and every year, it's surprising the condition that we're in. But I have faith because I know the principles. I know the ingredients of God's love, God's faith, God's joy, and God's peace. That we are all here going through this this epic scale of ookiness, so that we can reemerge. So we can reemerge in the truth of knowing that this is all an illusion, that this is all manifested from our own illusions, and that sometimes as humans, we have to know the opposite part of the scale before we just say enough already. Where is my peace? Where is my love? Where is my joy? Where has my faith gone? You know, those who persistently exercise faith in God find there is generated in their mind a condition that gradually grows into a conviction of the permanent presence of divine substance within. And this gives rise to the most exquisite joy. Inward ecstasy is what gives the continuance of peace. Dear hearts, we have to do it from inside, and that is the beauty of Advent, is moving forward into the activity of becoming something better, becoming something greater, becoming the truth of who we are, and not allowing the illusions of this world to continue to bring us down. We are great on epic scales only if we remember that, if we embrace the component that God is truly our parent, and that we are the beloveds. We are the all of us embodies the allness of God. And once we come to that realization, all else falls apart, falls away from us. And then we can allow joy to move in through us, joy to lighten our world, and joy to light the way, because this is the season of light. There's a reason why this is a season of light, because so many times we forget. This is the darkest component of the seasons. Yesterday was the solstice, when things turn around and light is exposed even more. That is also a symbol of us to remember that even in our darkest moments, that we are the light. That the more that we allow our light to shine, the more joy that we'll feel within, and the more joy we will share outside of us. And this too, just as Jesus had this energy when he was born that called forth the three wise men, that called forth a greater story about ourselves, that called forth an epic experience. We need to realize that we have that. We are that as well. It's one of the reasons why I love the unity component of the story, is for us to remember who we are, to remember that we are joy, to remember that we are love, we are peace, and that faith builds within us as a knowing and a conviction that we are moving forward to give birth to the truth of ourselves, and that we're not going to be scared. We're not going to be scared of our light. We're not going to be scared of the truth of who we are. That we will choose to step victoriously and fearlessly into the pathway that we were born to move towards. Joy and gladness are our strength giving, especially if the mind is mixed on the things of spirit. We should all affirm that the joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of truth is my strength. The joy of the law of Mother, Father, God is our strength, because that's what the Lord represents metaphysically. It's the law of God, the word, the logos of God. And it is all of our strength. Spiritual joy is our strength to evolve, give birth to our true magnificence. And so let it be. Let our souls transform with the being pregnant. And I know we are all giving this pregnancy unexpected. A lot of times we're not prepared for the pregnancy that is within us, especially when it wasn't planned. And it's all right. Don't let us stress you out. but embrace it. Embrace it fully, embrace it completely, so it is made manifest in you as it is manifest in me. With that, let us say our affirmation. This is a unity affirmation. The joy of the Lord is my strength. I am God's joy. Allow yourself to breathe that in. Let's say that one more time. If you agree with that statement, if you can agree with it, and you want to embody it, let us say it together. The joy of the Lord is my strength. I am God's joy. And so it is. Amen.
Try to make your room some room.
Do this again, but it's come to my attention that many people didn't get this announcement last week, and I believe an email was supposed to be sent out, and I'm not sure if everyone received it. Just wanted you to hear from me that my contract is up next week, and I decided not to renew my contract, which means that as of December, well, my contract will be up, and I will claim that I will be leaving the ministry. Because it is such a short timing, we're still trying to negotiate. I will not be leaving at the end of this month. I'm not sure when I will be leaving. At the earliest, it will be at the end of next month, but the board and I are still in negotiation because we want this to be a smooth transition. So I wanted to make that announcement to anyone who hadn't heard. I also wanted to say that I believe it is January 19th is our board, is our town hall. Or is it the 14th? That's what I was.
It's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday. I was looking for our calendar of events, but I didn't have one. It would be the 19th. Thank you, Delanne. And so, any questions that you have about the transition, please bring them to the town hall. That does not mean that you can't come to me and ask questions, or the board. Dave is our vice president of the board, and Paul is our treasurer. So you have members of the executive team here. We're trying to be as transparent as possible. At this point in time, we don't have that many answers, but we'll give you what you have, and we'll make sure that you know step by step. I really want this to come out a little bit because I'd love to say goodbye one-on-one to as many people as possible, and to just know that life is joy. And this ministry is going to bring forth a beautiful new minister, and it's going to take all of you to do that. So with that, thank you very much. And this is not goodbye. This is just an announcement, so much more to do. Thank you.
And again, this is a repeat from last week.
Yeah.
But the board and all of us here are going to do anything we can to support Reverend Crystal as she finds whatever's next in her journey, and whether it's paying for medical insurance for a few months or anything we can do, we're going to support her, and she'll always be a member of our community.
Have we done our offering statement? We did all that. We're all set. It's okay. Yeah, that happened. That's true. There's a lot going on up here this morning. So we stand for our closing song and enjoy the world. Quick announcement. Owner of a Subaru Forester, 7RM1788. Contact Diane Davis Schneider. It was bumped into. Right here.